Right, good morning, good morning. Let us kick off with your warm-up. You're looking for 3 exercises. We're going to start off with bounce, bounce, squat low times 10, followed by shuffle, shuffle, touch down times 10, followed by inchworms into cobra times about 5. Try to aim for 3 rounds of that, and then we'll get ready to go. That's fine. Thank you. I do. Hi. The reason I'm running late is because I had no storage on my Zoom cloud thing, so I had to rapidly download and delete stuff. Again, on those inchworms, really think about keeping your knees as straight as possible, getting a nice long stretch through the hips and the hamstrings. And when you're in that cobra position, remember to push your shoulders down, create space between your shoulders and your ears. Give you another minute or so to finish off. Okay, finish what you're doing and then start from the top with all of our mobilization exercises. Each joint and each main muscle group Gets a little movement, stretch to the end of range, getting ready for some proper work. Got fun at the session today. AMRAPs. Nice and easy, as many rounds as possible. So I'll set the timer and you work as hard as you can for the duration of the timer. Make sure hamstrings, adductors, quads get a good stretch. Remember, keeping the stretch moving at the beginning of the session. You want a dynamic stretch as opposed to a hold kind of static stretch. Okay, so whilst you finish off that, let me explain the set to you. You have 4 exercises and 8 minutes on the timer. Your first exercise is going to be running high knees times 20 on each side. I'd like to see proper high knees driving your arms. This is mimicking a sprint if it was in the park, right? So I want to see you properly working hard during these 20 high knees. Your second exercise is going to be 1 1/4 squats. You know the one. It is all the way down, push up, lower again, push all the way up. So making sure that we're not just falling to the floor, little bounce, bump, and back up again. It's a controlled up, down, up again movement. Exercise number 3. Oh, hang on, you're going for 10 of those squats. Exercise number 3 is single arm row, 10 on each side, and finishing off with 10 snowboarding pops, which is the one where you are down to the ground here, bump, up, down, bump. So your body keeps facing forward, your legs are the ones that change direction, okay? That's your lot. I know you'll have forgotten all of that. So I'll walk you through it, especially the first few times round. 8 minutes on the timer. So I'll find a timer. You finish with your water bottles, grab your weights, remove any layers, and then we'll get ready to rumble. Okay. Are we ready? Running high knees is first in 2 and 1. Let's go. 20 on each side, properly working hard on these sprints. That's it, good, good, good. Arms driving. Imagine you're sprinting in the park. That's the same effect that we want here. Good, good, good. All right, deep breath. 1 1/4 squats times 10 repetitions. Okay, good. All the way down. Have a play around with your foot position. Sometimes if you turn your toes out a little bit wider, you can get a little bit lower. Sometimes if you get your feet in a little bit closer, you can get a little bit lower. 10 1 1/4 squats. The timing should be down, up, down, up. Feeling that squeeze through your glutes and your quads as you're into the quarter rep. Lovely position there, Hannah. Super strong back, liking it a lot. Exercise number 3 is single arm rows, 10 on each side. Depending on the weight you have here, you might want to go a little bit slower. So if your weight is a bit lighter, make sure you spend some time at the top of that motion in the contracted position. So think about getting that squeeze, release, squeeze, release. release under control. Your elbow is sliding up the side of your body. And your hand is aiming towards your hip. So again, thinking about keeping those shoulders away from your ears. 10 on each side. Okay, finishing off 10 snowboarding pops. Drop your hips, touching the floor. That's it, good. Not your hips are touching the floor, that would make sense. Your fingertips touch the floor, you drop through your hips, bending your knees. 10 snowboarding pops. Deep breath, and go again. Running high knees, let's go. Push. Good. 3 minutes gone. Maybe get 3 rounds in, which would be ideal. Good, good, good. Liking the running. Okay, 1 1/4 squats. Control the down. Don't just fall from the sky. It's my favorite new expression, falling from the sky into the squat, as opposed to controlling, controlling, controlling. Dun, dun, dun. After that, you're back into your single arm rows. I'm looking for a nice flat back position. Make sure you're leaning elbow onto knee. And single arm row, 10 on each side, nice and controlled. Finishing off the second round with a snowboarding pops again. Just then, getting nice and low. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, good. We are 2.5 minutes to go, so pretty much done 2/3 of the time. Looking for a nice strong finish. The point of these AMRAPs is that everyone can work at their own pace, but of course it's reliant on you pushing yourself as hard as you're able to go for the duration of the 8 minutes, right? You get out of it as much as you put in. So you want to try and be giving your body super signals that it needs to grow stronger, get fitter, by working hard and not backing away when it starts to become uncomfortable. So challenge yourself to find that extra inch in the squats. Challenge yourself to slow down a little bit. Everyone seems to be a bit rushing a little bit more just now. So the tempo should be down, down, up, down, and all the way up again. You're feeling your muscles stretch against gravity, as opposed to just down, up, little bounce, because that uses something called a stretch reflex, which is a really super useful thing in the body, except that it kind of shortcuts what we're trying to do here, which is stretch, contract, stretch, and back up again. Stretch, contract, stretch, and back up again. Final minute. Okay, people, this is where it counts. Don't back away. Every single rep counts. How much more can you squeeze into this AMRAP? Ideally, you're close to the third round, to the end of the third round by now. But as I say, AMRAP does allow you to work at your own pace a bit more so than the other kind of circuits do. But the challenge is to make it the right intensity for you. In 2 and 1. Happy days. Okay, good. That was rather pleasant, wasn't it? Nobody's agreeing with me. I'm kind of used to it though, hey ho. Okay, so nice long break. Take this time to grab a drink, move around, get your heart rate down a bit before we set up for the next lot. Okay. Right, so similar kind of format. This time we are going to go with running butt kicks. So what I want you to do on this one, again, mimicking running, just get your heart rate up a little bit, better than in the park for sure. So what I want you to think about is bringing your heel up to your bum, okay? So often in PE, like 30 or more years ago, we learned running butt kicks was there, throwing your heel backwards. I'd like you to think about it here, so bringing your heel up to your bum, which, gosh, my feet are really white, aren't they? So, which makes it quite similar to your running high knee, but it's a slightly different focus. So rather than thinking, let me put that back there again. So rather than thinking about pulling up through here, pulling up through your knees, you're thinking about pulling up through your heel, through your hamstrings, and bringing your heel up to the ground. So it looks like that. Okay, so smacking the underside of your bum with your heel is what we're aiming for. Anyway, enough about that. So 20 repetitions, nice and fast on that. Then pick up your weights and you have got pendulum lunges. Pendulum lunges is where you lunge forward and backwards on the same leg. These, we have 10 repetitions again on each of those. I'll quickly show you. You want your kettlebell, either you're holding 2 on each side or you're holding 1 here. So all the way in forward, tap through the middle and all the way backwards. Same leg, 8 on each side for these. They take a long time, so settle in for it. Then you're down to the ground for any kind of crunching abs. You're looking for 20 of those. Stay down on the ground and 5 or 6 good press-ups. Good press-ups meaning you're on your toes, you're coming all the way down. If you can't push up again, that's fine. But I want 5 or 6 slow, controlled press, the down portion of a press up. Okay. Ooh, let's rock and roll then. We're starting off with 20 on each side, running bum kicks. Let's go. That's it, Kelly. A little bit faster now. Use your arms again. Same as you would in a running high knees, you're using your arms. Think about picking your heel up to the underside of your bum. That's what we're looking for. Good. Next up, with your weights, pendulum lunges, 8 on each side. So super important in these pendulum lunges is having a super strong or super tight core. You want to make sure that when you're pushing back out of that forward lunge, you're keeping your upper body, your torso really stable so that it's there. I drive back through my heel and back into the position. And we're trying to avoid kind of doing that as we're driving back. Pick that kettlebell up closer to your chest. It should be at about your clavicle height. Pull your shoulder blades back. Lock out the biceps. At the same time, it'll give you lovely turned arms. Your biceps get hit through this exercise as well. Pull shoulders back, kettlebell pulled in towards your chest. 8 on each side of these, don't forget. And again, make sure you're controlling the downward section. You're not just falling down to the carpet or the mat that you've got. But feeling the stretch. Exercise number 3 is your abs. Any kind of abs that causes you to crunch. So you've got a few different options here. You can go for flutter kicks. You can go for sit-ups. You can go for double crunches. You can go for regular crunches. Anything that works for you, that you can really feel that contraction. Quickly show you a few options. You've got your regular crunch. Really thinking about pushing your back into the ground and pulling your belly button in. Exhale hard as you can as you come up. You've got your regular sit-ups. Often helps to have something on the ground that you can lock into. And again, you're really thinking about curling up and curling down. You've got double crunches. Boom. You've got things like flutter kicks or leg drops, leg lowers. And again, pushing your back into the ground, keeping a nice flat back. There you go, there's some quick options for you in case you're struggling with always doing the same thing. I don't mind if you mix it up in the set. Exercise number 4 is going to be your press-ups. 4 or 5 really good press-ups focusing on the downward section. So lock yourself out in a strong plank. Ideally, you're all on your toes here to do this one. And you're controlling the lower down section. Don't worry so much if you can't push up out of it. I'd rather you do 5 really good controlled lowers than lots of half press ups. All right, back to the top, running bum kicks. So remember, you're picking your heel up. Really think about smacking your heel to the underside of your legs, driving your arms in the same way as you would. Pendulum lunges is next. 4 exercises, remember, running bum kicks, pendulum lunges, abs, and press-ups. Eight on each side for the pendulum lunges. The Guineas is we're well over halfway on the clock, yeah? Check that kettlebell, pull it up. I know your arms are feeling fatigued now. It's a long time. It takes a long time with these pendulum lunges, but keep strong, shoulder blades pulled back, pull the kettlebell in towards your chest, lock your biceps out. Okay. Exercise number 3 is your abs. If you're still on pendulum lunges, it's 8 on each side. Abs, 20 repetitions, focusing on that crunch. So really thinking about pulling your belly button in, pushing your back into the ground. It's almost like you want to try and fold yourself through that belly button waistband area, right? So rather than folding through your hips, we're trying to fold through here because that gives you a much better squeeze through your abs. Of course, inevitably, you will have to use your hips to fold because, well, we're not that flexible in our spines. We're not supposed to be that flexible in our spines. Just a bit over a minute left for this one. Waiting for that buzzer, it's not long now. Final few seconds. And relax. All right, good. Okay, again, a nice long break for you. Grab a drink. Go stand somewhere in the shade. It's warming up again quite quickly, isn't it? We have got one more block to do, one more set, and then you're done for the day. All right. Just waiting for everyone to come back before I hit you with what it is. Quickly explain this. There's 4 hairy blokes in my garden. So just in front of where I've got the screen is a big double door, and we've got a whole bunch of tree surgeons coming in, and they're all just sat up there. So I thought I'd quickly swim around because I have no idea what we're talking about. What were we talking about? So kettlebell swings is your first exercise, 20 repetitions, followed by squat thrust is next. So boom, powerfully explode up is your second exercise. Then you're down onto the ground for your skull crushers. Remember the ones where you've got so you're lying on the ground, you've got your arms stretched out in front of you, you're lowering the kettlebell just beyond your head, straightening out my elbows, do not move, right? So I'm keeping my elbows fixed in space throughout as opposed to trying to yank them around that way. That's your exercise 3. Exercise 4 is your plank, any kind of plank variation. You can go shoulder taps, you can go hip dips, you can pick a leg off. I don't mind 20 repetitions of those as well. All right, so not when you're ready. Let's get ready. We have got 20 kettlebell swings to start us off in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Nice and powerful in these swings, Remember, it's an explosive movement that we're looking for. 20 swings. Exercise number 2, squat thrusts. You're again explosively shooting this weight over your head. Can't remember what I said about this, but I probably got it wrong. 12 repetitions is what we want on this. 12 repetitions. 12 repetitions, making sure you fully extend, making sure the kettlebell doesn't go any lower than your clavicles. Exercise and number 3, you're lying on the ground for your skull crushers, tricep extensions, skull crushers. Lie on the ground, kettlebell over your chest. Make sure you've got your fingers over the belly and your thumbs through the handle. Elbows remain fixed in space. Nothing is moving other than from the elbow joint down. So it stays there. Imagine I'm lying down. Elbows stay fixed in space. Kettlebell just goes past your head. Awesome. Twelve repetitions here as well. And then you are into your plank, any plank variation that you can count, 20 repetitions. So your options: shoulder taps, hip dips, lift a leg, tricep up and downs. If you want to double up on your tricep extravaganza, that would be cruel. I've just thought maybe I'll put that in an exercise one day. Tricep extensions followed by skull crusher, or the other way around. That could be quite fun. 20 repetitions. Check your head position in this plank, please. Make sure that you're not looking down at your toes, but you should be looking just beyond your fingertips. Shoulders pushed back into their places. Whenever you're done, back to the top. So you're looking for 20 kettlebell swings. This is our last block of work, people, and we're about nearly halfway on the timer. So really think, how much more can you deliver in these next 4 minutes, making sure that you use every ounce of energy that you've got. Don't back away from it. It's your responsibility in these AMRAPs, so make sure that you're working as hard as you can, not getting distracted by children, by phone, by tree surgeons in the garden. Thrusters, 12 repetitions. Back down to your skull crushers. Also, top tip on this one, be careful where you lay down the kettlebell after your repetitions. I once had a client who popped it down on her ponytail, didn't realize that, and lost a clump of hair. 12 repetitions on these skull crushers. The kettlebell should just hover above the carpet, but not actually touch. You want to keep the tension in that lovely tricep muscle, the back of the arms. In your mind's eye, you are picturing that muscle as you force it to squeeze and stretch. Nice. Control it on the down. Make sure you're not trying to pull in your back to help, but just focusing on that lovely little muscle behind the back of the arms. Plank is next. Come on, come on, come on. Move. We've got 3-ish minutes on the clock left. Twenty repetitions for your plank. Okay, super, keep going. We've still got a good 90 seconds or so. Kettlebell swings times 20. Thrusters times 12. Exercise number 3 is called crushes times 12 and plank times 20. That's your lot. Shall we have a quick look at this time? Oh yes, 20 seconds or so. Remember, in these squat thrusts, the kettlebell should stay at your shoulder levels. Don't let it slip down. Try to get under it so you can push it up. Handful of seconds left. What can you finish off? And that is your final buzzer. Okay, job done. Everyone seems to have finished in the skull crusher position there, and nobody's moving. All right, guys, fab work. Really good job. Nice little all over body session, this one. So, yeah, take a couple of minutes to go through all of the stretches that are helpful for you. Glutes, quads, and hamstrings are your primary ones, but also don't neglect hip flexors, shoulders, and back. Use this time at the end of the session to work on the things that really benefit you. Happy days. Okay, so unless I've got any questions or anybody needs me for anything, I'm going to log off and I will see you. Just waiting. Has anyone got nothing for me? All right, I'm going to log off and I will see you at a session soon. Bye-bye-bye.